Imagine this, millions of Americans, maybe you, watch their hard-earned paycheck vanish into a black hole of bills, leaving nothing but stress and a countdown to the next deposit. This isn't a small, quirky problem. It's a national epidemic. Today, we're exposing the real reasons why millions are living paycheck to paycheck, armed with statistics so staggering they'll shake you to your core. Let's dive into the numbers and unearth the culprits, because understanding the why is your ticket to fighting back. Welcome to Blue Chip Mindset, the winning mindset for success. If you enjoy the video or learn something new, please give it a like, and nothing I say is financial advice. So, what does paycheck to paycheck mean in plain English? It's when your income just squeaks by to cover the must-haves. Housing, food, utilities, and one missed check could unravel your world. No savings, no safety net, just a monthly tightrope walk over a financial abyss with no net below. Here's the first gut punch. 65% of Americans, roughly 170 million people, are stuck in this grind according to the latest 2024 data. That's not a fleeting trend. Nearly half, 46%, states their permanent reality, not a temporary hiccup. Picture two-thirds of the country, your neighbors, co-workers, maybe your local barber, counting pennies until Friday. Shocking, doesn't even scratch the surface of this scale. And here's the twist, though, flip your assumptions upside down. This isn't just a low-income struggle hitting the poorest among us. Bank of America found that 20% of people earning over $150,000 a year, yes, six-figure territory, spend 95% of their income on necessities, leaving little for luxuries or emergencies. Even 40% of those pulling in $100,000 plus confess they're riding the same hamster wheel, trapped by the same pressures. It's not about the size of the paycheck, it's about what's chewing through it like a swarm of locusts. Let's unpack the real reasons this crisis cuts across all income brackets, from the struggling single parent to the suburban executive. Reason 1. The cost of living is out of control. Since 2020, prices have soared 22%, a relentless climb driven by supply chain snarls, global chaos, and lingering inflation pressures. That $1,000 you needed for basics back then, now it's $1,220 by early 2025, just to keep the lights on and the fridge humming. Housing's the heavyweight champ, swinging hard. The Federal Reserve pegs the median home price at $419,200 in late 2024, up from $251,700 in 2012, nearly doubling in a dozen years. Rent's no escape hatch, $2,950 a month for a one-bedroom on average, and in cities like New York or San Francisco, you're lucky it's under $4,000. Sometimes double that for a shoebox with a view of a dumpster. For someone earning a median of $57,000 a year, a third of their pre-tax income is gone before they even buy a loaf of bread or a gallon of gas. Food's another relentless wallet vacuum sucking up funds. Americans now spend more of their income on groceries and dining than they have in 30 years. Think $5 for a dozen eggs, $5 for a gallon of milk, or $10 for a single sandwich, thanks to inflation and supply hiccups. The Bureau of Labor Statistics estimates the average household's monthly food spending at $925, way more if you're feeding a family or grabbing takeout to survive the week. Add $900 for transportation, cars don't run on hope, and gas prices hover near $3.50 a gallon, and $450 for healthcare because a single doctor's visit can cost $150 out of pocket, even with insurance playing hardball. That's $2,275 monthly before taxes for food, transportation, and healthcare alone, over half a median paycheck gone. Inflation's the unseen bandit here, stealing purchasing power, while we swipe debit cards and pray the balance holds. Reason 2, wages aren't keeping up. The median worker earns $57,000 annually, but after taxes it's more like $45,000. Hardly a fortune when essentials keep climbing relentlessly. Over decades, wage growth has lagged behind the runaway costs of housing, college tuition, childcare, and medical care. Think 2% raises versus 6% price hikes year after year, a difference that widens the gap. Bankrate reports 35% of Americans saw no raise last year, frozen at 2022 levels, stuck in a paycheck purgatory, while 23% took a pay cut, maybe from job switches, slash hours, or gig work drying up as companies tighten belts. Meanwhile, the bottom 50%, 172 million people, hold a measly 2.5% of U.S. wealth, scraping by on crumbs, while the top 1% sit on gilded thrones, sipping champagne we'll never taste, their fortunes squelling from investments and tax breaks. Stagnant wages paired with ballooning expenses form a brutal trap tethering millions, factory workers, teachers, freelancers, to their next deposit, no matter how hard they hustle or how many overtime shifts they pull. Reason 3. Debt and emergencies strike hard. A recent financial study reveals Americans face 2.5 unexpected expenses yearly. Think a $760 car repair, a leaking roof ballooning to a $1,200 fix, or a kid's broken arm costing $500 in the emergency room. That's $1,900 of chaos annually crashing into budgets. Only 34% use savings to cope. Most folks don't have a rainy day fund when life's a constant downpour. Worse, 44% of those savers have $200 or less tucked away, barely enough for a bus pass, let alone a crisis. So it's credit cards to the rescue, or ruin. The average American carries $5,668 in credit debt, part of a $790 billion national pile, with the latest interest rates at a brutal 22.8%. A $500 emergency can double to $1,000 of interest, chaining you to payments that drag like quicksand. One slip, a flat tire, a sick pet, and you're sunk. Student loans and medical bills crank up the heat even more. High earners, 54% more likely to carry a college debt, while billions collectively, with monthly payments averaging $300 to $500, sometimes more for grad degrees. Then there's healthcare. 43% of paycheck-to-paycheck folks battle chronic conditions like diabetes, asthma, and hypertension, piling on costs for meds at $50 a pop, tests at $200 a scan, and specialists at $150 a visit. Caretakers get slammed too. 23% of sandwich millennials, juggling kids and aging parents, cite this as their breaking point, with elder care or daycare eating $1,000 monthly. Debt is the beast that feeds on misfortune, growing fatter with every swipe, missed payment, or deferred dream. Reason 4. Non-essential spending sneaks in. Lending Club found that 21% of paycheck-to-paycheck people admit splurging, like $1,000 vacations, $15 cocktails at a trendy bar, or a $100 gadget that seemed essential at 2 a.m. contributes to their woes. For 10%, the primary leak in their budget is the hole that sinks the ship. It's not the majority, but it's enough to sting. High earners fall into this trap too, upgrading to $2,000 a month apartments or $50,000 SUVs when the paycheck swells, lifestyle creep with claws that dig deep. After years of scraping by, extra cash can feel like a hall pass to spend, not save, and that choice keeps the cycle spinning like a top. Mindset's the silent trap. NerdWallet says 57% feel paycheck to paycheck, yet 31% save $50 monthly. When bills dominate, saving feels optional, not essential. Craving relief like a $20 pizza locks you in a treadmill to nowhere without rewiring habits. So why are millions trapped? Costs soar, wages stall, debt preys, and we enable it. Statistics reveal 64% live paycheck to paycheck, including 20% of six-figure earners. Urban renters grapple with $2,000 leases, suburbanites face $3,000 mortgages, and rural families bear $500 heating bills. Yet escape remains a plan, not a dream. Breaking this starts small, no capes needed. A $500 emergency fund blocks a $760 hit, dodging 22.8% interest. Budget tightly, cut $10 subscriptions, and redirect cash. Balance transfers with 0% interest free up $50 monthly, and employer perks like loan matching help too. There's hope. Paycheck to paycheck fell from 70% in 2020 to 65% in 2024, slow proof of change. Stack wins. Swap $20 dinners for $5 meals, stash $10 weekly. What's your move? Comment below, and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.